This is 9 News with Wendy Kingston.
Good evening. A lone protester today held a city to ransom, climbing the Harbour Bridge in the morning peak to fight for his children. The Army veteran says it was an act of determination, and while there were calls of support, there was no sympathy from the thousands of people stuck in traffic and transport chaos.
On top of the Harbour Bridge, one man stood tall. Below, the whole city brought to its knees.
Yeah, I told him to shut it down. I said it's mine for the morning.
The driving force behind this extraordinary protest was Narrabeen father and former soldier Michael Fox. From his vantage point, he spoke to Carl Stefanovic on the Today Show.
Kids that come from broken families, there's no help for them. You know, there's a reason why the government's spending so much on mental health, because we let our kids down.
This disgruntled father's message certainly got an audience. The line started on the Warringah Freeway, stretching as far back as Artarmon. Buses joined other vehicles in the queue, some diverted to train stations, but none of them would go further than Milsons Point or Wynyard.
I'm a nurse, so it's sort of not real good to be stopped here for this.
You'll be very late. You've been here for 2 hours.
This may not do your cause any good.
Are you serious? If I stuff 4 million people around for one morning and that gets my kids and other kids help one day sooner, I've achieved my goal.
It was around 5 a.m. when Michael Fox pulled up near a pylon on the bridge. Using a ladder and ropes, he hoisted himself onto the arch. The lone guard on duty spotted him but could do nothing because of a security barrier. At the top, he unfurled his banners where he remained for 2 hours. Eventually, and without much fuss, Michael Fox abseiled smoothly down to the road and calmly walked away with officers. Finally, some relief for drivers who've been waiting for hours. The Harbour Bridge at about 7:30 is finally reopening. A disgusted Premier ordered an immediate review.
This urgent review will consider CCTV cameras, security patrols, whether barriers are needed, and also criminal charges.
Police were quick to rule out any threat of terrorism.
This man was not going to damage any of our infrastructure. He was making a point as a lone protester.
Assisted by the media, a role which police will also be reviewing. Sean White, 9 News.
And extraordinary details emerged in court this afternoon where Michael Fox was facing a string of charges. Simon Boda was there. Simon, this protest was obviously carefully planned and executed.
Wendy, so well planned and executed, the court documents allege that Fox actually took part in a Harbour Bridge climb yesterday. Now, police say that when they arrived on the deck of the bridge this morning, they found Fox's hire truck parked there, and on the front seat they say they found a note which in part allegedly reads, "I don't want any collateral damage during this protest. It's not my intention to harm, threaten or intimidate anyone. However, if pushed any further than I already have been, there will be consequences." And when police allege he also issued this warning: if anyone attempts to climb the upper arch of the bridge during this protest, the consequences will be fatal. Now, the court documents also allege that when police made radio contact with Fox, he told them, quote, "You've taken my kids, I've taken your bridge, be aware." Now, Fox has been granted bail. He left court here a short time ago, and here's what he had to say.
I apologise to the motorists, but I hope they do realise that this objective is bigger than that. We as a local community, a state and a country, we need to start looking after our kids.
Now, while he's on bail, Wendy, he's not allowed to go anywhere near the Harbour Bridge. The magistrate suggesting he used the tunnel. He's back in court next month. Wendy?
All right, Simon Boda, thank you. And this morning's protest was a cry for help from a desperate father. Support groups deal with thousands of distressed parents every single year, but they insist that stunts like today won't help.
2 months ago, the famous bridge became a dumping ground in one man's battle over a custody dispute. 8 tonnes of dirt and rocks brought disruption and attention to 60-year-old Drago Rezkov's grievances.
I did plan it, yeah, because I asked for help many times, but nobody helped me anyway.
In Britain, Fathers for Justice have staged countless very public protests. on live television.
There's a gentleman who's going to disappear rather quickly.
And at Buckingham Palace.
It was easier to get to the Queen's balcony than what it is to see my own children.
The desperate men doing desperate measures. We don't condone what Mick has done today, but we can fully understand what he's going through.
Barry Gadira's organisation deals with thousands of cases every year.
Access to their kids, which is the biggest hurt, to go from living in the family unit to then having restricted access or no access hurts a lot.
But support groups maintain stunts like today are very unlikely to ease a parent's pain. The prospect of criminal convictions and even jail time will only make it worse.
Extreme actions of the kind we saw this morning really are not doing any good for your children or for yourself.
The advice from the experts: get help. It's only a phone call away. Damien Ryan, 9 News.
Police are